Hello everybody and welcome to another Minecraft Bedrock tutorial. Yay! Today we have something so very special. I've been working on this project for quite some time now. Today we are making a fully working redstone bank. Now this tutorial is just going to be for the redstone of how to make a working bank. But given the opportunity, I just couldn't help myself but make the whole bank. So now that you've had your guided tour, now let's actually use this bank as a customer for deposits and for withdrawals. Now to do that, we have to come to one of these modules here. Now this little module is for deposits and for withdrawals. It's all in this little 3x3 space here. So to deposit, all you have to do is you have to have your card and you have to have some money, like I have here. So obviously I am the Mr. Bowtie Man, so what I have to do is I have to put my card in here. And then I have to work out how much money I want to put in. So for example, let's put in 32 monies. Okay? So that's 32 monies. All I have to do is press the button. And now that money is going to be sorted into my account. Now when this light turns on, that means our card is ready to be picked out. And we can take our card out even though this money is still filtering. And that money is going still into my account. Now that's all I have to do. I can walk away and that's it. Completely done. Now, for deposits, it's like something slightly different. What you have to do is you have to put your card in, like this. Still have to press this button. Okay, that takes the card, and now we've got to wait until this light comes on again. Okay, you can hear it coming up. There it is. So as soon as that comes in here, that light will turn on, which means we can now press this button. So once we press this button, now 16 money will come up into this chest. If you decide to press the button before the light turns on, nothing will happen, okay? I've tried to make this completely, without using the phrase, idiot-proof. So you've got to do something pretty stupid for this thing to break. Okay, and as you can see, we have 16 money. Now, what happens if I actually don't want 48 money on me, I only want 40? So let's just take out 8. I can actually do a deposit in the same transaction at the same time. So I've got 8 in here, just press the button. And it still knows that I'm accessing my account. As soon as I take that card out, then the whole thing will reset. But of course, it will finish what it's doing first before resetting. So we can take that out, and now we have our 40 money in there, and all the rest is in our account. Whew! That was quite long-winded, wasn't it? Now, what happens if we put something rubbish in? For example, dirt. So I want to break this system. I'm going to put dirt in there and press the button. What happens now? Well, it goes down here, goes through some item filters, and then comes back up here. Now, just 2 more features worth noting, which are both safety related. If we just spam these buttons here, nothing ever happens. Okay, it won't ever reset the system, it won't trick the system, they literally don't do anything. And also, if we decide to put our card in, like this, press it through, and then think, actually, that was a mistake, I don't want to deposit or withdraw anything. That doesn't matter. All you have to do is take it out. And there we are. It resets. So as soon as you take this out, it resets. But if you take it out whilst you have money in here, that doesn't matter. It still will go in the right chest. So now that you've seen our bank in action, let's remove all of these building blocks, all of these unnecessary things, and just take a look at the redstone. Now, you may be thinking with how much it's actually doing, you may think, well, isn't this a massive build? And you'd be absolutely correct. This build is huge, as you can see. Yes, this build is very compact, but it doesn't stop it being a massive build. And surprisingly, this whole thing, it only holds 3 cards, as you can see. Mr. Bowtie Man, we saw earlier, Miss Subscribe, and Master Money. But don't worry, if you want to make it larger, you can. This one over here is exactly the same as this one, but it has 10 different cards. I haven't named them, I've just named them 1 to 10, as you can see, 1 through to 10. And that's very simple, and I'll show you how to make it longer whilst I'm making this one. Now, before we actually make the tutorial, before I make the tutorial, before you follow it, hold on. Before I make this build, I'm just going to run through with you some of the circuits and what they do. So firstly, we have our blue circuit. Now, this circuit stops this button working until we have items in our chest. So this stops our system starting when it shouldn't start, which would actually break our build. Our orange circuit is just a continuation of our blue circuit, but for the right button. So it just makes this button not work until it needs to. Our purple circuit looks very confusing, but trust me, is probably the easiest circuit in our build. It's our withdrawal system, but it only allows 16 items to get withdrawn at a single time. Wait, did I just say withdrawed? Oh, my pronunciation. Our yellow circuit is again a nice easy one. It's just some item filters for our money and our 3 cards we have in our system. Our green system is quite a clever one. It has 2 lock functionalities. One for the withdrawal system, so it only allows us to withdraw the items from the account we're withdrawing from, and also it has a money lock. So for example, if we place in money and then our card in here, and when we press the button, our money is going to filter through first, but it gets stored in this hopper here until the card gets placed through, and then it will unlock to allow our money to go into the right chest. Quite a sensible one, that is. Our grey circuit is just a timing system for the reset. And lastly, our blue and red circuits, they are just the item transportation. They're nice and easy. So as you can see, everything has its little job and works away very nicely. Now for the moment that you've been waiting for, which I definitely have not been waiting for. Let's get on with this tutorial. Okay, to start, have 3 of your flooring blocks down like this. Now, these 3 blocks there are these 3 blocks here, okay? Now, after you've done that, place a block toward the back like that. And on top of that block, we need a chest. Remove that block and have a hopper like that. So what you need to do is crouch and press it on the bottom of that chest. And the hopper should be facing directly down. Then, crouch and place a block here and 2 more. And the same again on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Block here, and on this block, have another chest. In between these 2 blocks, have a redstone lamp, and 2 buttons like this, one here, and one here. Then, on the side of this block, on the left, we need a block here, and one down. Remove that block, and a comparator on top. Then a block here, one up, remove that block, have a piston facing downward, and then a torch here. So to finish off our blue section, firstly we need to place a piston here, so facing toward the left, and one here, which should extend toward the right. So on top of that torch, like that. Then we need a furnace in between them, like that, and inside of our furnace we need a non-stackable item, such as a sword or an axe or something like that. So I'm sorry, Rogue Fox, you can't use your diamond block. Then we need a slab here, and a comparator coming away from the back of that piston. Then we need a block here, one up, one down, and remove that block. Block here, one to the right, and remove this one, and dust on both. Then we need a piece of obsidian here. Then place a block here, and one here, and remove that block, and have a repeater going toward that obsidian, and one here, and then on this side of this block here, next to this hopper, we need a torch. Like that. So that is going to lock this button. As you can see, it doesn't do anything until we have an item in here. Then it's unlocked, but still our item is in there, even though there's a hopper underneath. But as soon as we press the button, then our hopper gets unlocked, like that, and our lock gets reset. Perfect. Now, before we do any more of the redstone, we need to actually work out some of the logistics. So what I want you to do is place down an anvil. Now you need to work out what is going to be your currency. So if you're going to be using diamonds, for example, I wouldn't bother renaming them. But if you're like me, you want to use something different, I'm going to use these prism shards because they kind of look like notes if you really squint. I'm going to be renaming these money, okay? Now with all of your money, it needs to be spelled exactly the same. It needs to be exactly the same as you can see here, okay? So that is now my currency. And now I need to rename these bits of paper as bank cards. Now, on my bank I showed you earlier, I had Mr. Bowtie Man, I had Missubscribe and people like that, but just for ease of use, I'm going to name them 1. I'm going to name it 2. And you guessed it, 9. No, I'm kidding, 3. Like that. And of course, if you're going to have more than 3 cards, say for example, like you're going to build the one over here and have multiple, you can just keep going as many as you like. But just for this demonstration, I'm only going to be doing 3. Okay, with all those renamed items, what I've done is I've just put them into a chest. And also, I've actually counted out 41 of each of the items like this, okay? Because you're going to need that for our item filter, which we're doing now. So we need to have 41 of the money, and then 41 of each card we have. Okay. So now we need to place some blocks down. So place some blocks down? Place some redstone down, you know what I mean. So place a block here, and we need to come out 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remove the first 4. Then crouch, and toward this block, place 4 hoppers, like so. Then place a block here, and 1 down. Remove that block, and have 4 more, or 4 in total, sorry. And then some hoppers going toward these blocks, like that. Okay. Then we need a block here, and a sticky piston facing inward. Then remove that block, and then we need 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3. On these blocks facing downward, we need some more hoppers, like this. And these ones should be facing downward, as shown like that. Then we need 4 comparators, 1, 2, 3, 4, into 4 blocks, like that. Then we need to grab some glass, place it like this. 1 here and some down. Okay, with dust on it like this. Then we need blocks like this, 1, 2, and up. And on this block, we need a repeater going toward this one on 1 tick, and some dust here. And we need this all along. So if you were building something like this one over here, where we have 10 cards, you'd obviously make this 10 wide. No, you wouldn't. You make it 11 wide because it's got 10 cards and then the 1 money. So, for example, this one here, I've only got 3 cards. So I have 1 for the money and then 3 for the cards. Now that you've done that, what I want you to do is come into your item filters here. And in the hoppers going toward these blocks, that's where you want your items. So what I want you to do is to place 41 money. And then you need to grab a block that you're never going to place into your system. But what you can do is actually rename blocks that you have regularly. So, for example, dirt, you could just rename something completely random, like, I don't know, something completely mad. Then our system will never break because you're never going to put another one of those items in our system. So what I've done is I've just renamed some diamond blocks. Subscribe to Robofox. I'll put a link to one of his videos in the description. You understand the joke if you watch that video, okay? Then we need to get some of our cards. So 41 of our cards and 4 diamond blocks like that. Of course, it doesn't need to be diamond blocks. And then our last one. And again, some more blocks. So in each one, we have 41 of our blocks and then 4 randoms. Okay. So what would happen is if I place in 1 money, even just 1, then our comparator will take that and it will power a redstone repeater, which will move this piston to here, which moves our hopper, taking that 1 item. So for example, even if I put in, say, 23 in here, like that, press that button, you can see our sticky piston extending, and you'll have 23 in here. As you can see. Okay, now that you've done the yellow section, now we can do the green section. Okay, so firstly place 2 blocks down like this, and on the top of this block have slabs like this, 1, 2, 3, and with this block. And then 3 comparators on top of those slabs. Then 3 droppers, like that, underneath this block here. 2 temporary blocks like this, 1, 2, move that block, and have droppers going up into these droppers like this. 1, 2, 3. So for every card you have, you need this underneath this section. So this one has a card in it. Sorry, this one has a card in it, so you need this bit. But our first one doesn't, so this one doesn't. Okay, in these top droppers, we need a rubbish block in each of them. So any old block you don't mind throwing away, I'm going to be using dirt. In front of these comparators, have 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3. Place a block here, 1 down and 3 along, 1, 2, 3, and dust on them like this. 3 torches here, 1, 2, and 3, and on the other side, we need 3 pistons, and they should extend. Don't worry, this will make much sense more later. Much more sense later? This will make much more sense later. That's better. Then place a block here, 1 down. You can tell I've been recording too long today. Then 3 blocks out like this, another one round like this, and another. Have a repeater going this way, and dust on all of these like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we need a piston here, a piece of obsidian here, a torch here on top of that piston, and a block here. Okay, and that torch should be locking that hopper. Okay, after you've done that, come down here and place a block here. Then from this hopper, we need... Sorry, it is a hopper. From this, my mind's going numb. From this hopper, have a comparator like that. Then underneath this block, we need a sticky piston. Then place a block here and have a chest here. And in this chest, we need, again, any old block. And then we just want to power this piston. So just place a block here and a torch, or you can just power with a lever and then unpower it. So it grabs that chest. Then place a block here, 1 down, 1 to the left, move these 2, and a comparator like that. So when that chest moves to here, a comparator will take the output. Then a torch up like this. Sorry, a torch. Sorry, you need a torch in a second. A block up like this with a torch on top. Then another block and a torch. Then 3 blocks, 1, 2, 3. And we want 3 repeaters all on 4 tick delay. Now for every card we have in our system, we need a repeater on 4 tick delay. For example, the one over here has 10 cards, we have 10 repeaters all on 4 tick delay. If you have 5, you're going to need 5 repeaters, and so forth and so forth. Then you need a block here, 1 up, move that block, and a torch here. Then a temporary block, glass, remove that block, temporary block here, glass, block here and 1 out, remove that block and remove that block. Then have dust here, here, and here, and a repeater on 4 ticks like that, going toward the right. Then a block here and 1 up. Then we want a sticky piston, face it here and it should extend, 1 here and 1 here, 2 bits of dust on top, and then we want to grab 3 observers, place them facing upward, so the dot should be facing upward here, and then 3 blocks like this. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now just to finish off this grey section, we need dust on top of this block, and glass, glass, and glass like that, with dust like that. And then we want blocks like this, 1, 2, 3. We want a repeater here, and 2 bits of dust like that. Can I just say, if you're actually still following this tutorial, can I just say well done? I mean, if you're actually building this, especially in survival, I mean, hats off to you. Even if you're creative, honestly, the payoff is worth the agony of building it. Trust me, it's really good to use, but yeah, it's quite a nightmare to build, isn't it? Now we need to place a block here, and then a block up like this, and a comparator running from that block. So that comparator is going to be comparing that chest. Then a block here with dust on it, a block here, and a repeater here on 3 tick delay. Coming away from that block, we need a repeater. Then we need to place blocks like this. 1, 2, 3, 1 to the left, and dust like this. Then we need a temporary block here, 1 up, and a block here. Now I'm using a different colour on purpose. It will come clear in a minute. Move that block and have a repeater like that. Then place a block here, bit of dust, sticky piston facing toward the front, and then another block like that. And again, I'm using a different colour. Okay, after you've done that, come down to the bottom here underneath our chests and place a block here and 1 out. Remove that block and have a line of hoppers going toward that block, so 3 along like that. Then have hoppers going in toward those hoppers. Okay, then a temporary block here and have 3 sticky pistons facing inward like so, and then again 3 more hoppers but facing downward into these hoppers like that. Okay, now what I want you to do is place a block here and another one and 1 to the side like that. Dust on these 2 and a repeater on 1 tick facing this way. Okay, then a block here, 1 down, another one down, and another one, and dust on all 3. 1, 2, 3. Then a block here, 1 out, move that block, and a repeater on 1 tick. Then a block here, 1 up, 1 down, and dust. Then you want to have a block here and 1 up, and 3 blocks like this. Whoops, and then 4 like that. Now going toward this block, we want 2 hoppers, and we want 2 hoppers facing this way. And dust here, and dust on these 2. Okay, following along so far? So all the way down and along like that. Then we want to grab a sticky piston and place it underneath the block with the repeater on it. And then a block of redstone. On these 3 sticky pistons, we want 3 bits of dust like that. A block here. Another sticky piston. Remove that block. A block of redstone. 2 blocks down, 1 to the left. Remove these 2. And we want a line of blocks going like this. Dust here, and on these 3. And on this one, we want a repeater. And on 4 ticks. Okay, now you want to come up to the top, and going into this chest we want a line of hoppers going like that. Okay, then come right down to the bottom here to this hopper and place a dropper like this going up, and we want this dropper to hit that hopper. So go all up like this. So if you just crouch whilst pressing jump all the way up till you hit your head, all the way up to there, like that. And you're nearly finished. Okay, now we need to work out the item transportation from the bottom to the top. So firstly, place a block here, and we need a torch tower going right the way up to the top. So a torch on the right, block, left, block, right, block, left, and keep going. I find it easier if you just put blocks like this, and then have torches on this side, and then have blocks up like this. The only one you don't want a torch on is this last block here. You don't want a torch on this side, okay? So make sure you have it all the way up, like that. Okay. Then we need to place a block here, 1 out, remove that block, and have a comparator coming away from that dropper. Whoops. Like that. Then a block here, with a repeater on it. Into a block here, 1 more and another one. Then we need a temporary block here and a sticky piston here. Remove that block and dust on it like so. Then we want a repeater on 4-tick delay, another repeater on 4-tick delay. Then we need a sticky piston with a block of redstone, and we need a block here and dust here. Then we need an observer and place it facing this way. So the arrow should be going toward the sticky piston and the face should be facing outward. Then an observer, block, and dust. And now you're so close to finishing. Now our very last step is just to come around to the back here. That was weird. And what you need to do is, firstly, you've got to find where the hoppers go into the droppers. So there's one here, so you place a block here, and then there's one here, so you place a block here. And on this block, we need a comparator facing outward, and on this block, we need a comparator facing outward. Okay, then you need 2 blocks like this, have a repeater facing outward, like so, and then you need a block up here, and you need a block here, and with redstone dust on both. Then you need a block here, place one here, and a repeater going toward the left, block here and one up, move that block, and dust. And all you have to do now is wire up these 3 bits of dust with some glass. So glass here, here, and here, one up, and one here, and then dust like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yay!
And that is everything completely finished. That is everything done. So all you have to do now is just decorate it so you can build a whole bank on top. No, I'm not doing that. No way. Especially not in this video. Oh dear. And then you can place some blocks here and maybe just some stairs here so we can open that last chest. Now all that's left to do is just to give this a quick test. So what I have here is I have 2 stacks of money and then I have each card 1, 2 and 3. So what I'm just going to do is just going to test it out. So firstly, let's place in our card. So for example, let's be 2 this time. And I want to place in 32 monies. All I do is press the button, our card goes, and our money is getting filtered into this chest here. As you can see, we can take the card out, that's no problem, and it will still filter through. And then when it's done filtering, you can hear the click. There we are, and that means our machine is reset. And of course we can withdraw, so let's put add 2 back in because we never got money in that one. We have to wait until our light turns on. Brilliant. And now we can press our button. You can see we have our withdrawal circuit working very nicely. So you can see this one's pushed in. And now 16 items should be going right back up to the top. Hopefully. If we built everything right. And as we see, we have our 16. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my card in there for a second. And I'm just going to put 32 more in. Does that work? As you can see here, it does. Perfect. Ah, there we are. That was a long video. And now finally we have got to the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video or like the design, please give us a like because I worked really hard on this one. And if you really loved it, make sure you subscribe with a wonderful subscribe button for more awesome content. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one and I'll see you later. Bye!